Chapter 13. Patience, What Truly Makes a Don Juan. I have observed guys that had it all: looks, confidence, experience, and even interest from the women. I was envious of these guys, for they seemed to know what they were doing and knew how to do it well. I was in awe of how they could be so smooth with the ladies. Their abilities amazed me. Where I worked at, there were a couple of women who all the guys wanted. These women had initial interest in the guys mentioned above, and as you can imagine, those guys had quite a bit of interest in them. So the guys moved in for the kill. They unleashed their charm, their wit, their humor to get the women they so desperately desired. In the end, both women had ditched these guys and went out with me. So what happened? How could guys with more experience, confidence, wit, and looks be shot down by the most in-demand women in the area? And how could someone like me, who lacks in these certain areas, succeed when such smooth ladiesmen fail? It all has to do with patience. These guys failed because they came on entirely too strong, too fast. After a couple of dates, they wanted to marry the person. Though they were smooth, they could not hold back their desire for a girlfriend. The women sensed this and recoiled from them instantly. Women, on initial dates, just simply want to have fun and have a good time. Men can throw too much affection too soon, too fast, and scare the woman off. Women find this as desperation. It is the ultimate turn-off to them. Patience is not inaction nor chickening out. Not asking out a woman you're interested in is not being patient, but being stupid. Patience is controlling your eagerness. Have fun with the woman. Don't take your outing so seriously. A woman must feel comfortable and secure with you before intimacy can begin. The key to her feeling comfortable and secure is by having fun with you. Patience is also outstanding at attracting women too. Those Mr. Smooth men I knew would be there at a second one of the women called their names. If she said, "Hi, Mr. Smooth Dude's name," they would stop what they were doing and talk. I, on the other hand, simply greeted them back and kept walking. The Mr. Smooth men came across as eager and desperate by always willing to stop whatever they were doing to chit-chat, while I gave the impression of importance and hard to obtain by controlling my eagerness. Older women, who are married in their 40s and 50s, have told me that one of the most common mistakes guys can make is trying to jump into a strong relationship after only a couple of dates. They said that women simply want to have fun, and that if the guy smothers her with affection, she will distance herself. After all, who wants to be with someone that appears eager and desperate? Now I must choose between one of the two women I'm going out with. Yes, going out with both. The Mr. Smooth guys now come to me and ask, "What's your secret? How were you able to get both of them?" And I just smile. Ooh la la! Ooh la la! That is what is going through the Don Juan's mind. Ooh la la! For this is the only thing that is in a Don Juan's head when he is with the lovely young lady. Lady La Hotness, ooh la la. Monsieur Pook, ooh la la. But many guys do not have ooh la la in their heads. Rather, they have,
"Am I funny enough? Am I interesting enough to her? Am I doing this correctly with no mistakes? Oh heavens, help me."
There is no woman in front of such a male. No, the woman becomes something else, a harbinger of lost dreams, security for their emotions, or a magical device that will make them become cool. I cannot believe guys have such problems approaching women. What are they scared of?
The thought of sex turns me into stone.
No wonder you stand there, gazing at your Medusa in such manner. Keep things in their proper spheres. When you go to talk to a woman, focus on the talking. When you go to date the woman, focus on the date. When you go to sleep with the woman, well, ooh la la. When you are talking of her and thinking of sex, or having sex and focus on talking to her, you are not going to do either very well. When you kiss her, just think of kissing her. When you are approaching, think of talking to her, but you protest. Women and happiness. You say, "My emotions are undone," and you turn to a woman. But a woman is not a giant breast that fills itself with milk. Nor are the lactal veins of such woman supplied with happiness from a source outside herself. What you put into the woman is what you get out. And your view of women stuffed with this happy juice, this milk that swells the giant breast you yearn to suckle, is but a mirage, one that will lead you off the cliff. You have your emotional worries and want to suck on femininity, no matter how much the femininity dribbles down your body to nourish your pains. Women don't want to be your mother. When guys go at women from this position, it is no wonder they fail, as they deserve to. Women and success. You say, "My life is in circles," and you turn to a woman. But a woman is not, in herself, a torch of glory that shines her light abroad. No matter how much sex you have, no matter how many girls you go through, you still have to pay your rent, go to work, and labor to live. More girls will not transform your sorry life. Women despise boys that stay mediocre with no ambition, no plans, no goals, no dreams, and will leave them for men. Women and life. You say, "My life is boring," and you turn to a woman. But a woman is not an entertainment center as evident by lack of a mute or even a good volume control. They do not turn on and off at the flip of a switch, nor is their programming run by a logical schedule. Healthy women will react to you, "What a bore you are," and off they go to the nearest man who has his stuff together. The secret to interesting people is that they find interest in almost everything. What do? Sit and surf the internet? No. Remember the order of life, laugh and love. 99% of problems come from people mixing up the order, going for laugh before life, or love before laugh. Instead of focusing on girls to get a life and love will attend to itself. Ooh la la to get the women. First, you must talk to them.
Madame, how do you do?
Very well. How are you? Women would prefer talking to anyone than be alone, so she will be receptive to you talking to her. But how do you display your interest in her? With a sonnet? With a pickup line? No, keep talking to her, but channel your interest through your eyes. First channel, eye contact.
My, that is mighty weather we are having.
Yes, it is mighty weather indeed. Most women will notice your eye contact. Remember, women love the eyes for a reason. The reason we know why is because that is where they first detect male desire. They will think, "This is different. This guy is keeping eye contact." Most males are too scared, so she will keep the eye contact and keep talking to you as you have already touched something within her. Eye contact is very important. You do not stop it. You do not look gazingly into her eyes and then stop later on. You keep it up, displaying your desire for her, and you keep staring into her eyes even during intercourse. Girls love it when guys stare at their eyes during sex for a reason. Why? Because female satisfaction is influenced by male desire. Sleep with her without looking at her eyes, she will feel used. If you've watched lesbians make love, you will find them constantly staring into each other's eyes. Now, she will really notice if you start asking about her. Second channel, asking about her. Blah, 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 blah.
Forget that, my dear, and tell me about you.
I used to think that by asking about her, you are attracting her by showing you are unselfish in the conversation. This is totally untrue. You are being entirely selfish because you want to get to know her. You are evaluating her. Why do you do this? Because you want her. By not asking about her, you will lose because you will not be thinking, "I want her," but rather, "I want her to want me." To be male is to want. To be female is to be wanted. Yes, girls go herd like after a guy, but that is female competition, not true male attraction. When you really want a girl, you will want to know everything about them. What their hobbies are, what are their plans for the future, what is their shoe sizes, whether they can digest asparagus properly, these things you want to know. Often, the girl will toss the question back. You reply simply and casually as possible. Well, where are you working at now? I worked my way out of working. And then you go to the next question. Don't worry, she will ask it again if she wants to know. I like to give yes answers to their questions. One girl went, "Are you going to college?" Yes. Next year, when she saw me, she knew to ask, "Where are you going to college?" When women like a guy, they remember everything about him. You are not there to prove yourself to her. She is there to prove herself to you. If she likes you, She will start rambling out this information about her. What she likes, what she plans to do, her ambitions, so on and so on. Third channel, touch. If you feel it in your gut, do it. If you do not have ooh la la in your head, you will do something completely off. So touch her when you think you should, kiss here when you think you should, and so on. Pook noticed the girl looked very cute, and so took her in his arms. Ooh la la, she squeals. Pook noticed she sat there, babbling endlessly, so to shut her up he kissed her. Ooh la la. She laughs, pulling away. Ooh la la. That is my philosophy. Let it be written in the sky, written in the stars, so your mind will wash away those old toxic analyzations. Ooh la la. And this is our mission and destiny. Some people have so confused the easy life and the hard life as to think that the path of security of walking on eggshells throughout life will make their life easier. But it is when you throw yourself into the fire that you learn everything. Analyzations, goodbye. And self-doubt, farewell. No glory lives on the back of such. And Don Juan, dream on. Life awaits. Ooh la la, come sirs, drink this tonic I'm handing you. No more doubts, no more what-ifs, no more stupid suspicion of whether she is manipulating us or not. Drink, drink, and put it down the hatch. Ooh la la. Join me, ladies. Let us sing it together. The ladies gather and squeak, ooh la la. Say it again, ladies. Come on, one more time. Ooh la la. Oh, and there is a nice guy that has wandered into this post. Look, we can see the sweat of frustration popping from his forehead. Say it with me. Nice guy, say it.
Ooh la la.
Again.
Ooh la la.
And alas, several more beings of melancholy have stumbled into the post. Here comes forth a philosopher, so sad and teary-eyed, not knowing what life is about. And, following him, is a seductionist, stuffed with analyzations and flowing electronic text, bitter that the reality of women seems so horrible. And there comes a young man who has lost the girl of his dreams, who doesn't realize that it was the dream that made her divine, not her making the dream, and he's green with jealousy as he doesn't think he'll ever find another woman of his dreams. Come, sirs, you depress me. Say it together.
Ooh la la.
Again, again.
Ooh la la.
You're going to approach a woman. What is on your mind?
Ooh la la.
Oh, and she is receptive to talking to you. Now what could you think?
Ooh la la.
You asked her out and she said yes. Now, what will be going on in your head on the marvelous and enchanting date?
Ooh la la.
You're kissing her. You're making out with her. She is getting undressed. My goodness, what is in your head?
Ooh la la.
Pity the fools in life who martyr their love life on a calculus of analyzation. Go out there now with a smile on your lips and a spring in your step. Keep in mind this commandment of life. All together now.
Ooh la la.
A second life. A young man approached this post, opened his mouth as but to speak, and snorted,
Signor Pook, or how is it that you like to be called, Monsieur Pook? Well then, bonjour. There is French salutation for your French slop.
Counterfeit not the time, goodly sir. Speak your complaint.
All you do in these posts is rattle and prattle about women and dreams and things. Tell me, in direct and utter language, why I do not right now have a woman in my arms.
When you say you don't have women, you are choosing it.
This is cruel,
he whispered. But it is the truth. You know you can go out right now and get a girl. The girl might be a fat hag, but nevertheless she is a girl. You choose to not go for the fat hag and decide that you are worth more. Loneliness isn't some cruel conspiracy from nature. It is your choice. So you have chosen not to be with the ugly fat women. Now that you have acknowledged that you choose the beautiful women, it means you think they are right for you. Even though you might be a skinny, socially insecure dork, you believe you have inside you what it takes to get the beautiful woman. So you must go out and demo it to reality. Nature says, You silly little dork. Who are you to think that you can get my lovely nymphs, the beautiful women? The proper response is,
I will show you who I really am.
And one by one you become yourself. You reconnect all your dreams to the day. You don't bulk up because women like big guys. You do it because that is how you see yourself. You don't become the life of the party because women like those guys. You do it because that is who you are. You do not become Don Juan because that is what women crave. You do it because it is who you are. What is life to you? It is the pattern of our age that value is placed on living a long life. Because of this pattern of value being placed on having a long life, it is easy to lose sight that the reason we hope to live long is so we have more time to live worthy. What does it mean to live worthy? This is something that only you can define. People have lots of opinions on what you should do with your life, but when the day comes that you are on your deathbed, knowing the imminent is possible, you're the one that has to reflect upon the choices you made. So, what is life to you? I am not asking you to do this or that with your life, but I'm only asking you to pause for a moment and think. What is life to you? Stop and look. Many people do not stop to consider. They relive their parents' life, only to produce children who will live like them. They want money, so they spend their time to get it, only to use that money to buy back time. They always place their minds in the future and never in the present. Thus, they don't live in the present or in the future. They lose the moments. And in the end, that is all we have. This trading of time for money, or money for time, or present for future, or future for present, is not a pure exchange. Life gets destroyed in the transaction. Change is hard. Being a nice guy is the easiest thing to do, but in the end, the nice guy is a trap, the trap being the womb of security the nice guy keeps running into. Routine is easy. Change or anything new, this is hard. To take your lifelong habits and alter them, this takes some pain. It will be the pain of shrugging off the old life, the life your parents gave you, the life your school gave you, the life your friends shared with you, the life that everyone expects you to live, except yourself. You only have one life and only have a certain amount of time. You may have been raised to believe that life is not meant to be enjoyed, but something to bear, to be painfully suffered through. It is the belief that if you're having too much fun, then you're not doing enough stuff. Who says life is not meant to be enjoyed? And who is meant to define that but you? Those who have this way of thought will think,
Approaching women? Oh no, too painful. Having a girlfriend is like having another job. Women just require too much work to be enjoyed.
who says that women are not meant to be enjoyed? Who says that life is not meant to be enjoyed? And who is meant to define that but you?
Life is whatever happens.
Who says that? Who says you have to suffer? With all that is out there to achieve and enjoy, to discover and see, who is to say that it is not yours? Who is to say that you don't deserve joy in your life? Who is to say you don't deserve the hot babes? And why do you sit on the sidelines and surrender it to others? Who's to say all these things are not yours? You define your life, not your grandparents, church, or friends. When you give up those rules to someone else, you are to blame if you don't like where you are at. We are not raised this way. We are taught when we are young that it is noble to suffer. We are taught to not speak our mind else we might offend someone. We are taught to be quiet and good when your parents dragged you to places you hated. We are taught to sit through the monstrosity called education, making us confused that education comes only with pain. Thus, we naturally avoid pleasurable education the rest of our life. We are taught to always avoid risks when possible and embrace a nice, secure life. We are taught nothing that makes us alive. Some people think that we are meant to suffer each day, to gruel through the time and bear the scourge of daily agonies. If you believe you are underemployed, ask yourself, is my life dictated by my fear of not having a job, or is it launched by the pleasure of working a job I like and getting more money? If you do not have a woman, ask yourself, am I focusing on minimizing the pains of approaching, dating, and loving, or am I focused on obtaining the pleasures of such wonder? Most people will never start a business because 9 out of 10 companies fail. But those that win, in the end, even if they fail at first, keep trying because they are motivated by the pleasure of getting the business, not by minimizing pain and insecurity. And many guys will never get a girl they want because they realize they will fail more often than they succeed. But those that win in the end do so by focusing on the pleasures of success rather than the pain of failure. So if you have no women, it means you think you are better than what you can get. You can either go out to show the world what you are, or you can come up with another daily excuse. In order for that happy tomorrow to occur, you need to start today. You set the rules for your life. It will have as much pain, joy, and success you think you deserve. The world now begins with you. What is your world going to be? Most people fake happiness. There is a great myth that everyone, amazingly, believes that everyone else is happy, having fun, living life, and you, all alone, are miserable. That everyone is out there, having amazing, glorious sex, while you must content yourself with pornos. This isn't true. Most people are in the exact same spot as you are. And those glorious unions you see everywhere? Most of them are simply scared of being alone, so they go off and grab the nearest available person. The others are lying together with vanity. The big secret is that happy people aren't as happy as they appear. Many happy people are actually covering up their real problems. But what do? You see one of these happy people, and then you get unhappy at them. You make yourselves miserable as you arrow nasty thoughts from your mind at them, and they don't even know you. You think,
It must be nice to be happy. They were born to the right parents, to the right environment. I wish I was like them. I wish I grew up where they did.
you think,
I have all these great qualities about myself. Why can't someone see it?
well, no one sees it because they are too worried about themselves. Women are not ignoring you. They too are worried about themselves. When you go out with a foxy lady, she will be worried about how she acts, about how you think of her. Life is meant to be lived. Life is meant to be grabbed onto. Life is meant to be defined by you. No one may define your life, not your parents, not people on the internet. No one. A second life. Now your life belongs to yourself. What are you going to do with it? This gift of life is yours and yours alone. It truly is the only thing no one can take away. Only you can give it away, to chunk it, to toss it into the abyss of time. But no longer will you do that. Before, you crawled and inched your way through life. Now, cocooned and reabsorbed with your new thoughts, you molt off your old life and begin a new one. The other caterpillars, feeding on their grubs and inching in circles, look up at the sky to see you blaze by.
How can he fly so high? How is he so colorful? How can he be so free?
Nothing can stop you now except yourself. You now have the power to do what you've always dreamed. What are you going to do? The inner light of who you really are has broken out and will dazzle the world. You are so lucky, for you have saved your life. Now you know how precious life is, because you were so close to aging without discovering it. And so people will notice the new you. Before I came here, I was mad for a girl. Now, that same girl looks at me and stares.
Something is different.
She says.
Something in your eyes, in your face.
Shrugging, she smiled.
It must be the light.
I kissed her and pulled her to me.
Yes,
I said.
it must be the light.
Selfishness, life-changing decisions, etc. Quote, what am I getting at? Thanks to this site, I have developed a great sense of self and a much higher level of confidence. Not perfect by any means, but a hell of a lot improved. I've committed myself for the last couple years to doing whatever it takes to get what I want. Money, girls, power, etc. All of a sudden, this does not seem appealing to me. I feel willing to give up all the hard work to follow a completely different path. All of a sudden, the thought of screwing people over or succeeding at all costs makes me really uneasy. Power games with girls' co-workers are something I used to be able to play very well, but now I want nothing to do with them. I feel like everything I wanted in life is being turned on its head. Maybe I'm just ranting here, but the world has really been showing its dark side lately, and I just don't want a part of all the bullshit. Is there anyone out there who honestly gives a shit? Where to go from here? All the DJ techniques I've read over and over seem so insignificant. God, I had everything planned out. I feel like I'm back at square one and then some. I've got no idea what I want out of life again. Anyone have any input? Or have I gone completely wacko-jacko?
These are the times that try men's souls. Our ancestors and forefathers always had clear and solid definitions of masculinity and manhood. While the definitions varied in detail, the context was the same. Today, there is no system, no genuine respect for manhood. If a woman committed suicide, it would be a tragedy. But if a young man commits suicide, it is just another statistic. You're not crazy, you've grown up. Most people never do. Children are remarkably selfish. This is fine, as they are children. Growth is seen as the child growing and expanding on his/her abilities or schoolwork. However, around the age of 16, especially for girls, they become enchanted with a self-image of themselves. This self-image varies from individual to individual, but the results are the same. To create envy from others, excess pride, material goods, and sexual goods. Nature, herself, has written a code onto our hearts and natures. We each have our talents and gifts, and who can decide what they dream? This grand self-image, in order to exist, must use techniques and people as fodder, as stepping stones to success. What is obscene is that the basis of fulfillment of this self-image is the denial of the self. Narcissism is the denial of the self. It is to reject the gift of life. A musician trying to play the role of the soldier, for women, for money, would have his soul destroyed. Likewise, a soldier trying to play the role of musician, for women, for money, also would find his soul destroyed. We have been taught, at the earliest ages of youth, that in order to get things done and to make people happy, we must, on all levels, deny ourselves. In fact, I suspect that is why many men come to this forum in the first place. We have denied ourselves women for so long, but enough is enough. What is a technique with woman but the fundamental denial of self? We are taught to act this way, do that, then this, and that over there, and perhaps we get the girl. But what was the cost? There is always a cost. By using some techniques on the internet, you never know if you can get women. Yes, techniques sell well because they are painless. If anyone tells you something in life will be painless, they are somehow a salesman. Nevertheless, techniques are not an addition to your character, but often a denial of it. No, being a nice guy does mean crash and burn. Rather than facing up to the hard questions of life and our own masculinity, it is much simpler and easier to adopt a series of techniques. Narcissism's denial of the self permeates through today's society, as you have noticed. How often have you gone on a date with a woman and had her say everything you think she wants you to hear? Or how often do you find guys that act the way they think the women want to hear? The technique-wielding seducer and nice guy differ on how they act, but the context of their actions are entirely narcissistic. Even the good girls and bad girls suffer from this extreme self-image. Reality to them is unseen. This is why they never seem to change once their bodies reach that of an adult. Many people remain narcissistic for their entire lives. I say, go do what you want, go follow your dreams, go embrace your passions, go for the girl you think is out of your league and super hot, go for the fruits of life. Do not deprive yourself. When you do so, you slowly become embittered and turn that embitterness into a virtue. Look how nice I am to women. Look how I sacrifice for my education, job, family, etc. The list goes on and on. Our age today is mercenary labor and mercantile women. Everyone wants to leverage you for their own ends, but only you know what your dreams and passions are. Your dreams are now ripe for enjoyment. If you wait too long to enjoy it, it will be as bitter to the taste as defeat. Too many people deny themselves for tomorrow, always tomorrow. We say, look at that dream up there. One day it will come down. Rather, we ought to say, our hour has struck. Francisco mentioned, Atlas Shrugged. I would say Fountainhead is the superior book. For those who still think narcissism is about being selfish, just look at the character of Keating. Keating and Rourke play opposite roles. Keating does whatever to please others. He even denies his heart to marry a beautiful woman. Rourke does only what pleases himself and pursues his own passions. In the end, Keating becomes broken while Rourke wins the world. The point is that both characters face severe pain, for pain will occur to you in life. If anyone tells you differently, they are a salesman. Rourke, taking the mindset of freedom, dealt with the pain at front. Keating, adopting the mindset of security, avoids pain at every turn, and it ends up consuming him. We can either avoid the pain and shocks that flesh is heir to, or we can tackle it head-on and be man not for women, not for society, not for your parents, not for your church, but for ourselves, as being a man is the closest males can get to heaven on earth. Securities versus mistakes. There I am, minding my own business on my computer, when a message pops up to scream, "Woot! I get to Pook! Tell me, Pook, what can I do to get to women?" And then appears one of the following lines.
How do I approach? What do I say? How do you call her? How do I get laid easier? Where do I meet the girls? How do I increase my testosterone? Tell me how to be a man. What cologne should I put on? Which are the clothes that women like? Should I walk with swagger or not? Facial hair or not? Should I use more action verbs in my speech? What sexual position should I use? What date should I do? Should I be ambitious, artistic, or just domineering?
Gentlemen, if I attempt to answer your every request, I shall be here until doomsday. You come onto the forum and think, if I obtain this information, my future with women shall be changed. This is a bald-faced lie. Your future is the same. It is only your past that keeps changing. Nice guy, seducer, cocky guy, what does it matter? You're looking for guarantees. Then you change your past.
I lost to the women because I was sheepish and not cocky enough.
Maybe you have different results, but then it goes back to the way it was, and you search for more information, and then you change your past again.
Oh, I lost to the women because I lacked testosterone within me.
Maybe you have different results, but then it goes back to the way it was, and you search for something else. On and on it goes. So excuse me for not giving you a traditional answer. Let me answer you in another way. It is to know the difference between a security and a mistake. Securities. What is a security? It is a calculus of action. It is a planned way of thought, of movement, of talk, and of love. For example, anchoring conversation with "notice something about her" is a security. It implies that if you talk about a necklace or something she is wearing, your odds for winning are better. Here is another security. A cool, fast car. Since it is observed that women like the cool, fast cars, guys will get them because they believe it boosts their chances of getting the girl. All seduction techniques are securities. All series of steps on how to attract women developed by a pickup artist are a security. The entire idea is to boost your chances of getting the girl. Self-improvement is readily a good thing, but a very big problem, or should I say cancer, occurs when self-improvement becomes a security. The idea that improving yourself in this or that way will boost your chances. But the problem is that it never stops. Go into a gym and you will find many single guys working out. They will remain there because they always think they have to be perfect to get the ladies. Watch television and you will see ads implying that if you wear this shampoo, you will have this social life, eat this brand of rice, and your romantic life will look like this, on and on and on. Use this product and you will be perfect, it implies. Well, perfect is boring. Take a young man asking some guy on the internet, where should he go for the date? What should he eat? What should he wear? Which restaurant should he go to? What should he talk about? And yes, he even asks, what sexual position should I use? Should I kiss her here or there? He thinks,
Hey, I'm obtaining all this information. Woot, look at me.
But I'm shaking my head thinking, my goodness, this guy is letting a stranger from the internet define his love life. He doesn't know where he wants to go, what he wants to eat, what to talk about, or what to wear. Women will look at such a guy with the same attitude. A security is an act or thought that makes you eliminate mistakes. It is one thing to foresee mistakes. After all, you can't just marry any girl. But it is disaster to life to deny them. You want misery in your life? Keep sucking up securities to mold and sculpt your life. Mistakes. I cannot speak for others, but I will tell you the big reason why I became successful with women. I was willing to lose girls when I had no girls, and I was willing to spend the time when I had no time. What does this mean, willing to lose girls when I had no girls? Let me use a money analogy. Let us say you were born poor. Most people remain poor because they cling so tightly to the pennies they have that they won't risk losing it in any investment. So they not only lose out with the big money, they remain with pennies their entire life. Now look at many men. Many guys remain single or in an LTR with a mediocre girl because they cling so tightly to the one girl in their worlds that they won't risk or go back to singledom. Most girls stay with a mediocre male precisely because of this reason. It is like an ant saying to another, "Don't eat that leaf else we starve," forgetting that they are in a bountiful forest. When one love dies, another is reborn. Nature will not tolerate a vacuum. Single guys will have women thrown at them, provided they aren't living life in securities. If you tiptoe with women, you cannot stand. You flop and fall over if you get out of balance. And that is what it is like living a life of securities. I know, I did it far too long. It is like walking a tight beam and balancing against every gust and breeze. It is exhausting. This is why many following this path want to give up on women because it seems like so much work. If you don't have money, how can you be scared of losing money? And if you don't have women, how can you be scared of losing them? It is like you're fighting for the scraps, literally scraps, of joy while your dreams sit on the table, rotting and growing cold with time. And what does it mean to spend time when I had no time? Most people don't live in the present. They live in the future. They say, "Tomorrow, all my dreams will occur tomorrow." Never does the person say, "Today." So time passes and passes. I will bet that most guys here, who are sincerely interested in getting better with women, were late bloomers in life. Let's face it. If you have not dated or have done anything with girls, you are certainly going to be a bit uncertain about it. My problem is that I need more experience. I don't think so. I think the big problem, of which I too am very much guilty of, is not embracing my dreams for today and waiting for tomorrow. I would see a pretty girl and go, "No, can't ask her out. Got too much stuff to do this week." This occurred throughout years. But as time passed, melancholy increased and increased until you hated being single. It was as if an internal pressure came. You go after women because the pain of being single is now greater than seating your desires for tomorrow. Is that what it has come to? The choice between lesser of two pains? Is this life? You didn't live like that when you were a child. You used to explore, play, and try out new things. Why has life become harder and more unbearable? Again, it comes to your context on securities versus mistakes. I ask, what mistakes does a child make? I'm sure you can think of something like forgetting to turn off the light, leaving the oven on, or something of the sort. This is from the adult's point of view. From the child's point of view, he wasn't making any mistakes. Cut his finger? Hurt his leg? Tired out? No mistakes here. Why? He was exploring. Every child loves to explore. There is so much in life to see. A child instinctively knows this. But we somehow overpower this when we grow older. When you say something wrong with a woman and she leaves, you think you made a mistake and feel bad. Well, why do you have to feel bad? Everyone's made mistakes before. So what? Get that child's perspective once again of feeling that the world was new when you were young. You are exploring with love and life, not making mistakes. And even the worst mistake is preferable to a lifetime embracing the greatest of securities. The zest of life is in the roll of the dice. So look at your love life. Is it a life of securities, or is it a life of mistakes? Is it a calculus of action or spontaneous? Look at your financial life, social life, and even intellectual life. Are they leashed to securities, or are they free, wild, and allowed to explore?
But Pook, my perspective uses the word strategies. Your perspective uses the word securities. We are saying the same thing but using different contexts. But we are both using the word mistake in my perspective. Tell me, Goodly Pook, what word do you use in your perspective for my label of mistake?
Freedom. The entire series is available on YouTube for free. But if you'd like to own a copy and support my work, you can purchase the 10-hour audio and PDF on Gumroad. The link is in the description.